want to talk about one of the most important aspects of living a fulfilling life, prioritizing what truly matters. In a world that is constantly moving, full of distractions and external expectations, it can often be easy to lose sight of what brings us genuine joy and purpose. But the truth is, we only have one life to live, and how we choose to spend that life will determine whether we find happiness, peace, and satisfaction, or whether we look back in regret, wondering where the time went. So let's dive into this idea of prioritizing what matters. The allure of external validation. We live in a time when external validation seems to be the currency of life. Social media, societal expectations, the pressure to conform, these are all forces that push us to seek approval from others. We see people striving for recognition, applause, likes, and followers, thinking that these things will fill an empty void within us. But here's the problem. External validation is temporary. The praise, the likes, the comments, they feel good in the moment, but they don't last. Once the attention fades, the emptiness returns. This endless chase for external approval can be exhausting and ultimately unfulfilling. We may gain a sense of accomplishment or worth in the short term, but it's fleeting. And when we base our sense of self-worth on the opinions of others, we give away our power. We end up living for others instead of for ourselves. And that leads to a life that feels shallow and disconnected from what truly matters. Shifting the focus to internal fulfillment. So how do we escape this trap of seeking validation from the outside world? The answer is simple yet profound. Shift your focus inward. Instead of seeking external validation, start by evaluating what truly brings you happiness, fulfillment, and purpose. What are the things, the people, the experiences that make you feel alive, grounded, and at peace with yourself? These are the things that truly matter, and they're the things you should prioritize. Let's begin with relationships. We often hear the saying, people are what matter most, and it couldn't be truer, whether it's family, friends, or a significant other. Our relationships shape us in profound ways. It's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life, careers, deadlines, and obligations, and neglect the relationships that nurture us. But at the end of the day, when all the accomplishments, accolades, and material possessions are gone, it's the people we love and who love us that will be by our side. Too often we take these relationships for granted, assuming they'll always be there. But relationships require time, attention, and effort. If we truly want to live a life that matters, we must prioritize the people who bring us joy, support, and love. They are the ones who will be there through thick and thin, who will celebrate with us in times of joy and comfort us during times of sorrow. No amount of external success or recognition can replace the deep satisfaction of meaningful, authentic connections. The power of experience over possessions. Next, let's talk about, in our consumer-driven society, we are often taught to value material possessions, the new car, the latest gadget, the designer clothes. While these things can bring temporary happiness, they do little to contribute to our long-term sense of fulfillment. Experiences, on the other hand, create memories and stories that stay with us forever. Think about it. When you look back on your life, what will stand out the most? The moments when you traveled with loved ones, when you shared laughter with friends, when you achieved something that challenged you. Experiences offer something that possessions can never provide: meaning. They shape our identities, push us to grow, and connect us to the world around us. Too often we focus on acquiring more and more things, believing they will make us happy. But the truth is, happiness doesn't come from what we own, it comes from what we experience and who we share those experiences with. So, invest in experiences that bring you joy, that make you feel alive, and that create lasting memories. In the end, it's these experiences that will give your life a sense of purpose and fulfillment, pursuing passion over perfection. The final aspect I want to touch on is passion. Each of us has something we're passionate about, something that makes us feel inspired, excited, and connected to our true selves. Unfortunately, many of us get caught up in the pursuit of perfection. We believe that in order to succeed, we must be flawless or that we must meet certain external expectations. But this mindset can prevent us from pursuing what truly excites us and makes us feel alive. Passion isn't about perfection. It's about following what brings you joy and fulfillment, regardless of whether it fits into a neat, defined box. Whether it's art, music, writing, helping others, or something else entirely, passion gives life color. It's the thing that drives you to wake up in the morning and face each day with enthusiasm. When you prioritize your passions, you allow yourself to live authentically without worrying about what others think or whether you're measuring up to some arbitrary standard. Too often, we put our passions on the back burner, telling ourselves that we'll focus on them later once everything else is taken care of. But the truth is, life is fleeting, and waiting for the perfect moment often means that we never get around to pursuing what matters most to us. So, make the time for your passions. Invest in them, nurture them, because they are the things that will bring you lasting fulfillment and purpose. Living with purpose. Ultimately, living a fulfilling life is about living with purpose. Purpose comes from focusing on what truly matters, the relationships we build, the experiences we create, and the passions we follow. These are the things that give life meaning. When we prioritize them, we align ourselves with a sense of purpose that can guide us through the challenges and triumphs of life. When you stop chasing external validation and start focusing on what truly brings you joy, you'll find that life becomes richer, deeper, and more meaningful. And while you may not always achieve perfection, you will have lived a life true to who you are, full of meaningful relationships, experiences, and passions that leave a lasting impact. So I urge you today, take a step back and reflect on what truly matters to you. What relationships need your attention? What experiences are you yearning for? What passions are waiting to be pursued? Make those things your priority and live a life that is authentic, fulfilling, and meaningful. I want to talk about one of the most powerful and essential aspects of life: embracing change and growth. We all know that life is unpredictable, full of ups and downs, twists and turns. No matter how much we try to plan or control the future, we cannot avoid the inevitable changes that come our way. And yet, change is often viewed with fear and resistance. It can feel uncomfortable, unsettling, or even overwhelming. However, if we can learn to embrace change, we open ourselves to incredible opportunities for personal growth, evolution, and improvement. The nature of change. Change is a constant. It is the only true certainty in life. From the moment we are born, we begin a journey of continuous change. Our bodies grow, our minds develop, our experiences shape us. And yet, despite its inevitability, change is something many of us try to avoid. We want stability, predictability, and comfort. But the reality is that stability is often an illusion. Life moves forward and we must move with it. It is easy to get caught in the comfort of routine, the familiar patterns that give us a sense of security. But when we resist change, we may find ourselves stuck in situations that no longer serve us. We may remain in unfulfilling jobs, unhealthy relationships, or outdated ways of thinking, all because we fear stepping into the unknown. The irony is that growth can only occur when we are willing to leave our comfort zones and embrace the discomfort that comes with change. Change as an opportunity. So, how do we begin to view change differently? Instead of fearing it, we must start to see it as an opportunity to learn, evolve, and improve. Every time we encounter change, we are presented with a chance to grow. This can be a difficult shift in perspective, but it is crucial for our personal development. Consider the most significant moments of growth in your life. Were they moments of comfort and ease, or were they moments of struggle, challenge, or change? Chances are the greatest periods of growth came during times when you had to face something difficult or new. Perhaps you took on a new job, moved to a new city, or ended a long-term relationship. Those moments might have been uncomfortable, but they were also the moments that taught you the most about yourself. Change forces us to adapt, and in doing so, we stretch our abilities, expand our perspectives, and develop new skills. When we allow ourselves to embrace change, we step into the unknown with courage, and we open the door to learning new things about ourselves and the world around us. Rather than seeing change as something to fear, we should view it as a canvas for reinvention. The power of personal growth is not a linear process. It is often messy, complicated, and full of setbacks. There are days when you will feel like you're making progress, and other days when it feels like you're moving backward. But this is the nature of growth. It is through challenges, failures, and difficulties that we develop resilience and strength. When faced with change, we often experience discomfort and uncertainty. These feelings are natural and part of the process, but it is how we respond to these feelings that determines whether we grow or stay stagnant. Growth requires us to embrace discomfort. It requires us to be willing to learn from our failures and see them as stepping stones rather than obstacles. Personal growth doesn't happen when everything is easy. It happens when we face challenges, reflect on them, and adapt to them. Think about a tree. It grows strong and tall by weathering the storms, bending in the wind, and growing its roots deeper into the ground. The tree doesn't fear the storm. It knows that the storm is a part of its natural growth process. Similarly, we too must embrace the challenges and changes that come our way. These difficulties are not signs of failure, but rather opportunities for us to grow stronger and more resilient. The role of mindset in embracing change. A key factor in how we handle change is our mindset. The way we approach challenges directly impacts our ability to grow from them. A growth mindset, the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and perseverance, is essential for embracing change. People with a growth mindset view challenges as opportunities to learn rather than as insurmountable obstacles. On the other hand, a fixed mindset, the belief that our abilities are static and cannot be changed, can hold us back when change occurs. People with a fixed mindset may avoid challenges, give up easily, or resist change because they believe that their abilities are predetermined and unchangeable. This type of mindset limits our potential and prevents us from fully embracing the opportunities that change brings. If we want to grow, we must cultivate a growth mindset. This means seeing mistakes as lessons, setbacks as opportunities for resilience, and change as a chance to evolve. When we shift our mindset to one of growth, we become more adaptable, more open to new experiences, and more capable of navigating the uncertainties of life. The benefits of embracing change and growth leads to many benefits both personally and professionally. First and foremost, it builds resilience. When we learn to face challenges head-on and adapt to them, we become stronger and more capable of handling future difficulties. Change helps us develop the emotional strength needed to weather life's ups and downs. Moreover, embracing change allows us to learn new skills and expand our knowledge. Whether it's taking on a new role at work, learning a new language, or stepping outside our comfort zone to try something new, change pushes us to grow intellectually and emotionally. Change also opens us up to new opportunities. Sometimes, the things we resist the most are the very things that can lead to the most fulfilling experiences. A career shift, a move to a new city, or even a change in perspective can open doors to opportunities we never imagined. But if we remain entrenched in our old ways, we may miss out on these chances for growth and improvement. Lastly, embracing change brings us closer to self-discovery. When we challenge ourselves to grow, we uncover strengths and abilities we never knew we had. We become more aligned with our true selves as we shed old patterns and embrace who we are becoming. Practical steps to embrace change now. I understand that embracing change is not always easy. It takes courage, patience, and a willingness to let go of old habits or beliefs. But there are practical steps we can take to make this process easier. Shift your mindset. Start by adopting a growth mindset. Instead of viewing challenges as threats, see them as opportunities for learning and development. Break the change into small steps. Change can feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to happen all at once. Break down big changes into smaller, manageable steps and take one step at a time. Seek support. Change is easier when you have a support system. Surround yourself with people who encourage you, challenge you, and inspire you to grow. Embrace discomfort. Understand that discomfort is a natural part of growth. The more you lean into discomfort, the more you'll grow and learn. Reflect and adapt. As you go through change, take time to reflect on what's working and what's not. Be open to adjusting your approach based on what you learn along the way. Conclusion. In conclusion, life is full of change, and while it can be intimidating, it is also the very force that propels us forward. Change offers us the chance to grow, evolve, and become the best versions of ourselves. It is through embracing change that we develop the resilience, strength, and wisdom that define personal growth. So rather than fearing change, I encourage you to embrace it. See it as an opportunity to learn, to improve, and to become who you are meant to be. Growth does not come from staying the same. It comes from adapting, evolving, and stepping into the unknown with courage and an open heart. I want to share with you one of the simplest yet most powerful practices you can adopt to improve your life, enhance your well-being, and bring more fulfillment into your days. That practice is gratitude. It's easy to overlook how deeply gratitude can shape our mindset and how our lives unfold, especially in a world that often focuses on what we lack, what we need, and what we're striving to achieve. Gratitude, however, is about recognizing and appreciating what we already have, whether it's big or small. It's a simple shift in focus that can change our entire perspective on life. By consciously practicing gratitude, we can foster joy, contentment, and a deeper sense of connection with ourselves and the world around us. The power of gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a practice, a mindset, and a way of approaching life. When we are grateful, we become more aware of the good things that exist in our lives. We begin to see the beauty in the ordinary. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, and in doing so, it transforms our perspective. Instead of feeling deprived, we start to feel abundant. Studies have shown that practicing gratitude can have profound effects on both our mental and physical health. Gratitude is linked to increased happiness, reduced stress, and better sleep. It has been shown to improve relationships, enhance overall well-being, and even boost our immune systems. When we practice gratitude regularly, we are training our minds to focus on the positive, creating a ripple effect of joy and fulfillment in every aspect of our lives. But despite its benefits, gratitude is often something that is neglected, forgotten, or overlooked. It's easy to take things for granted, especially when we're caught up in the hustle and bustle of everyday life. We get so focused on what we want or what we feel we need that we forget to appreciate the many blessings we already have. The truth is, we often have more to be thankful for than we realize. Gratitude shifts our mindset. One of the most profound impacts of gratitude is its ability to shift our mindset. But gratitude can help us approach these challenges from a different perspective. Instead of seeing obstacles as insurmountable problems, gratitude allows us to see them as opportunities for growth and learning. When we choose to focus on what we are thankful for, we train our brains to look for the good in every situation. Instead of fixating on what's wrong or what we lack, we start to notice the positive aspects of our lives, even in the most challenging circumstances. This shift in mindset allows us to develop resilience and optimism, which are essential for navigating life's ups and downs. A simple practice of gratitude can change the way we approach adversity. For example, let's say you've had a tough day at work. It's easy to feel frustrated, discouraged, or overwhelmed. But if you take a moment to reflect on what you're grateful for, the supportive colleagues, the opportunities you've had, the lessons you've learned, you may find that your perspective shifts. What seemed like an insurmountable challenge can become a stepping stone to something greater. Gratitude helps us reframe our experiences, turning them into opportunities for growth and appreciation. Gratitude enhances well-being. Gratitude also plays a significant role in enhancing our overall well-being. When we practice gratitude, we are more likely to experience positive emotions like joy, contentment, and peace. Gratitude increases our sense of satisfaction and fulfillment, making us more likely to feel good about our lives as a whole. By regularly acknowledging the things we are grateful for, we train our brains to recognize abundance rather than scarcity. This sense of abundance creates a deep sense of well-being. The simple act of saying thank you for something, whether it's a small kindness or a major achievement, can evoke a sense of joy that is both immediate and lasting. Furthermore, gratitude has been linked to better mental health. People who practice gratitude regularly tend to experience lower levels of depression and anxiety. This is because gratitude counteracts negative emotions like envy, frustration, and resentment. Instead of focusing on what others have or what we think we're missing, we learn to appreciate what is already present in our own lives. This shift in focus helps us cultivate a more positive and peaceful state of mind. The ripple effect of gratitude doesn't just impact us as individuals, it also has a ripple effect on those around us. When we practice gratitude, we create a positive environment that encourages others to do the same. Expressing gratitude toward others strengthens our relationships and builds deeper connections. When we acknowledge the kindness, generosity, or support of others, we deepen our bonds with them, creating a sense of mutual respect and appreciation. In relationships, gratitude is a powerful force. It helps us appreciate the people in our lives, whether they are family, friends, or colleagues. By taking the time to express gratitude for others, we acknowledge their importance and value. This practice of appreciation fosters a sense of belonging and love, which can enhance the quality of our relationships. Gratitude also encourages acts of kindness. When we feel grateful, we are more likely to pay it forward and show kindness to others. This creates a cycle of positivity that spreads through our communities, making the world a better place for all of us. How to practice gratitude. The beauty of gratitude is that it doesn't require grand gestures or significant effort. It can be practiced in simple, everyday ways. Here are some practical ways to incorporate gratitude into your daily life. Start a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They can be as big as a promotion at work or as small as a delicious cup of coffee in the morning. The key is to focus on the positive and make it a habit. Express gratitude to others. Take time to tell the people in your life how much you appreciate them. It could be a simple thank you or a heartfelt note. Let them know how their actions have impacted your life. Practice mindfulness. Take a moment each day to reflect on the things in your life that you are grateful for. Whether you're walking outside, meditating, or simply sitting quietly, make it a practice to focus on the present moment and appreciate what is around you. Reframe negative thoughts. When faced with a challenge or a difficult situation, try to reframe your thinking. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What am I grateful for in this situation? This helps to shift your focus from the negative to the positive. Celebrate small wins. Don't wait for big milestones to express gratitude. Celebrate the small victories along the way, whether it's completing a task, overcoming a challenge, or simply getting through a tough day. Take a moment to acknowledge your achievements. Conclusion. In conclusion, gratitude is one of the simplest yet most profound practices that can transform our lives. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we can shift our mindset, enhance our well-being, and create deeper connections with others. Gratitude helps us see the beauty in the ordinary and appreciate the richness of life. It's a practice that not only makes us happier, but also makes the world around us a better place. So I encourage you to take a moment each day to reflect on what you're thankful for. Whether it's big or small, take the time to appreciate the blessings in your life. Gratitude has the power to change your mindset, enhance your well-being, and create a life that is rich with joy and fulfillment. Today, I want to talk about one of the most important concepts for living a fulfilling and meaningful life. Living with intention. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to feel like we're simply going through the motions, waking up, going to work or school, and trying to make it through the day. But if we are not careful, this routine can slowly erode our sense of purpose and direction, leaving us feeling disconnected from our true goals and aspirations. To truly live a fulfilling life, we must take deliberate actions toward our goals. With purpose and meaning behind everything we do. Living with intention means not just going through life, but consciously choosing the path we want to take, setting clear goals, and taking consistent steps to move closer to them. In this speech, I'll discuss the importance of living with intention, how to set meaningful goals, and why consistency is key in bringing those goals to fruition. The importance of living with intention. Living with intention is about being purposeful in your choices, actions, and decisions. It's about aligning your daily actions with your long-term values, vision, and purpose. Too often, people live their lives on autopilot, reacting to circumstances and drifting from one day to the next without any real thought about what they want or where they're headed. This type of existence, while it may feel comfortable, often leads to feelings of dissatisfaction and a lack of fulfillment. Think of it like sailing a boat. Without a destination or a clear course, the boat will just float aimlessly on the water. The same goes for life. Without intention, we are at the mercy of external forces. Work pressures, societal expectations, and the opinions of others, leaving us unable to steer our lives toward what truly matters. To live with intention is to take control of your life, to choose where you want to go, and to navigate the journey with purpose. Setting meaningful goals. The first step in living with intention is setting meaningful goals. But not just any goals. Goals that truly matter to you, that align with your values, and that reflect the person you want to become. It's important to understand that not all goals are created equal. Many people set goals based on what they think they should be achieving, based on societal pressures or expectations from others, but these are often superficial or misaligned with what they truly desire. Meaningful goals come from a place of self-awareness. They are goals that resonate with your core values, your passions, and your purpose. To set meaningful goals, it's important to ask yourself, what do I truly care about? What do I want to contribute to the world? What kind of person do I want to become? What legacy do I want to leave? These questions help guide you to goals that are aligned with your deeper sense of purpose. Whether it's a career goal, a personal development goal, a relationship goal, or a health goal, the key is that it's something that excites you, that pushes you forward, and that challenges you to grow. Once you've identified your meaningful goals, it's important to break them down into smaller, manageable steps. Goals can feel overwhelming when they're too big, so it's crucial to create a roadmap to reach them. Start by setting short-term objectives that lead to your long-term vision. This way you can see your progress along the way and remain motivated. Taking deliberate actions, setting meaningful goals, is just the beginning. To truly live with intention, you must take deliberate actions every day that bring you closer to your goals. It's easy to get distracted by day-to-day tasks, but living with intention means staying focused and committed to taking consistent steps toward your vision. It's important to remember that success doesn't happen overnight. Achieving meaningful goals requires time, effort, and perseverance. But it's the small, consistent actions that build up over time and lead to significant progress. Deliberate actions are about making choices that support your goals, even when it's difficult or when distractions arise. For example, if one of your goals is to become healthier, deliberate action would mean making choices like going for a walk every day, eating more nutritious foods, and making time for self-care. If your goal is to advance in your career, deliberate action might include learning new skills, networking with the right people, and consistently delivering your best work. The key to taking deliberate action is to be mindful and purposeful in everything you do. Ask yourself with each decision, does this action move me closer to my goal? If the answer is yes, then you know you're on the right path. If the answer is no, then it's time to reevaluate your actions and make sure you're living with intention. Consistency is key. Consistency is the glue that holds everything together. Without consistency, even the most well-defined goals and the most deliberate actions will lead to limited progress. It's easy to get excited about a goal in the beginning, but over time, motivation can fade and challenges will arise. That's when consistency becomes crucial. When you commit to taking consistent action toward your goals, even when motivation is low or obstacles arise, you create momentum. This momentum helps carry you through difficult times and brings you closer to your vision. The key is to stay disciplined, even when you don't feel like it. It's about showing up day after day and doing the work even in the face of uncertainty or difficulty. Take, for example, a writer who wants to finish a book. If they only write when they feel inspired, the book will never get completed. But if they commit to writing a set number of words every day, even on days when the words aren't flowing, they will eventually finish the book. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It means showing up and taking small, consistent steps toward your goals day in and day out. Consistency is also important because it builds discipline, which is an essential component of success. When you practice consistency, you develop the ability to overcome distractions, push past comfort zones, and stay focused on your long-term vision. Over time, your consistent actions will become habits, and these habits will be the foundation upon which your success is built. Overcoming challenges, living with intention, doesn't mean that the path will always be easy or that challenges won't arise. In fact, living with intention often requires confronting difficulties head-on and finding ways to stay committed to your goals even when things get tough. There will be moments of doubt, fear, and setbacks, but the key is to keep moving forward, even if it's just one small step at a time. When you face challenges, remind yourself why your goals matter. Return to your deeper sense of purpose and use that as motivation to keep going. It's during the tough times that you have the greatest opportunity for growth. By overcoming obstacles, you not only move closer to your goals, but also become a stronger, more resilient person. The fulfillment of living with intention is that it brings a profound sense of fulfillment. When you make conscious decisions and take deliberate actions toward meaningful goals, you align your daily life with your values and passions. This alignment creates a deep sense of purpose and satisfaction. You will feel more connected to your true self, more engaged in your work, and more present in your relationships. Living with intention allows you to look back at each day and feel a sense of accomplishment. You know that your actions are not random or aimless. They are purposeful steps toward the life you want to create. This fulfillment is not only about achieving goals, but also about the journey itself, the small victories, the growth, and the sense of alignment between who you are and what you do. In conclusion, living with intention is about making deliberate choices every day to move toward your goals and to live a life that is aligned with your values and purpose. It's about setting meaningful goals, taking consistent actions, and staying committed to the path even when challenges arise. By living with intention, you create a life of purpose, fulfillment, and joy. So I encourage you to take a step back and ask yourself, are you living with intention? Are your daily actions aligned with your long-term vision? If not, it's never too late to start. Set meaningful goals, take deliberate steps, and stay consistent. The life you want is within reach. And living with intention is the key to making it a reality. Thank you.